Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Sadhguru. Do you enjoy Sadhguru's work? I really do. And today he speaks about fear, how the thing that gets in our way is fear, and really just that. So the question or the title of today's message is, how will you live when your fears no longer have any power over you? How will you live when your fears no longer have any power over you? Let's get into this message. Danae, a very good morning. Charlene, good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. Great seeing you. Have you ever stopped to admire a tree, towering, strong, branches reaching for the sun, leaves whispering secrets in the breeze? Imagine if you could ask that tree how it feels about its existence. Would it brag about its shade or boast about its fruit? Beatrix, good morning. Great seeing you. Hello. Sadhguru has this thought. He says, if you ask a tree how he feels to know that he's spreading his fragrance and making people happy, I don't think a tree looks at it that way. The tree says, I am just like that, and this is just my nature to be like this. Anthony, good morning. Great seeing you, dude. Hello. What if humans at our core are really just like this tree? Our natural state is to grow to our full potential without the need for a slave master to motivate us, bearing fruit and spreading our fragrance, being a support for those around us, not because we're trying to be, but because this is just the way we are. What if at our core, this is how we all are? If this is true for us, if growth is our natural state, then what is it that gets in the way? What prevents us from living to our full potential? It's only our fears. Consider this for a moment. If the tree had fear of failure, if the tree was intimidated by bigger, taller, more beautiful trees, if the tree couldn't bear to look at itself in the mirror, would it continue to grow like that, or would it shrink? Sadhguru has a few thoughts for us on fear and how fear holds us back. He says, fears and insecurities are unconsciously created by you. If you do not create them, they do not exist. Sadhguru is famous for saying that everything we suffer happens in our minds. Those fears and insecurities happen in our minds. Except for the information we have in our minds, those fears and insecurities don't exist. Sadhguru says, the fear is simply because you are not living with life. You are living in your mind. So he says we have these two options. You can become better at living with life, moving with life as life moves, or you can continue living in your mind. And then the fears will be all too real. Sadhguru says, the fear of suffering makes your life a half step. Freedom from the fear of suffering is needed for a full stride life. While we have fear, we only take small little steps. When we have less fear, we also are not so scared to take bigger steps. The last thought from Sadhguru is, when a human is in competition, when he is in fear of failure, he will only do little better than somebody else. So the human genius is completely missing today because we're all living in this fear and in this competitive environment. He says you are destroying the human genius. It may be that the only thing you need to do is to deliberately work your way through your fears, coming face to face with each one until it's not so scary to look into its eyes anymore. What will you be? How will you live when your fears of who you are and who you are not don't have any more power over you? Won't you naturally live your full potential, spreading your fragrance and making people happy? If you're ready, our meditation today is themed fear. Let's take the opportunity to perhaps soften some of these fears so that we can more easily stretch into our full potential. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly, and as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine. Slump down your shoulders and drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, while you feel your body rise and also feel your body fall, let's have a conversation about humans and trees. We tend to think of humans as something that needs either a carrot or a stick, and most probably both. Because if there's no reward dangled before their nose or there's no stick to punish them, these humans might not do what needs to get done. That's the picture we tend to have of humans. Is it possible that we've been taught to see humans this way? Is it possible that, at least to some extent, we're not so different from the tree? No one has a carrot and a stick to motivate the tree to grow. Sadhguru's words were, "I am just like this, and it's my nature to do that." Without any motivation, without any punishment, the tree grows into its full potential. Is it possible that we could do that too? And if it is possible, then what prevents us from, like a tree, just naturally growing to our full potential? And it might be possible that the only thing standing in our way is our fear. Think about it for a moment. When the tree looks around and looks at other trees, does it feel intimidated by bigger, taller, more beautiful trees? We often do. And how often is that the thing that stops us from trying? Does the tree have any fear of not reaching its full potential? But that's a trap we so easily fall into. Because we fear the end result, we don't even take the first step. Could a tree ever look at itself and be disappointed in what it sees? Is this the biggest difference? That the tree doesn't have any fear, and we are always weighed down by our many fears. What would happen if the fears no longer held you back? Is it possible you would then naturally grow into your full potential? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles. Forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Loosening up your shoulders and loosening up your upper back muscles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus for a moment on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And lean your upper body over to the right. See if you can bring your left ear just a little bit closer to your left hip. And then see if you're able to bring your right ear just a little bit closer to your right hip. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we practically can get right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, let's take these next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. Feel the air flowing through your nostrils as you take a deep breath in. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And then as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, our journey today is to explore our relationship with fear and how this might be the only real thing that ever holds us back. Take your next big breath. Entertain this thought for a moment. You were born from your original being into this body. It's a phrase that Sadhguru also enjoys using, your original being. Does that original being have any fear? Does that original being look around and feel intimidated by what might be bigger and better and prettier? Would that original being shrink back from its reflection in the mirror? You came in with an original being without fear. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, take a moment to try and be present with your soul, that original being. Take your next big breath. Now, after being born into this body, we encountered many fears along the way. And every fear we encountered caused us to adapt in some way to that fear. Every fear we encountered along the way taught us some kind of a lesson. And in response to these fears, we made adaptations. We put on layers of armor against the scary world. We picked up masks to wear to protect ourselves from this scary world. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, take a moment to just sit with the reality of this. This is not unique to any one of us. It's how any biological organism, especially mammals, function. We encounter fears and then we adapt to survive. Take a look at your journey and remind yourself of some of the adaptations you had to make. Take your next big breath. How many of our actions now happen without us knowing, unconsciously, from all of these old lessons we learned in fear? How many of the actions we take are not the actions our original being would have taken, but are the actions of a biological organism that is now reacting to the world from the old fears it has encountered. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, have a conversation with this human being. Let this human know that this is not a bad thing, that you've learned lessons in fear, but it's also something that can be improved upon. We don't have to keep acting and reacting to old fears. And then after this breath hold, as your body softens, feel yourself soften those layers of armor. Feel yourself put down some of those masks. Take your next big breath. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask yourself, who is the being underneath all of these fears? Who am I underneath all these layers of armor and masks? Who will I be if I'm no longer reacting to the world from old fears? Who will I be if fear no longer rules my life? Take your next big breath. We just asked the question, who will I be if fear no longer rules my life? And there is somewhat of an answer. The answer is, your soul already is that. You don't have to search far. Your soul already is this. Again, take a moment to dive deep into you and connect with that soul. Ask it for guidance. Ask it to guide you through the fears. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel softness stream into your body and settle in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Even when we become very familiar with that indomitable soul, the fearlessness that we came into this world with, even when we know that very well. That does not prevent the scared human in us of having a reaction, having triggers. But this is our work. This is our job, to have an awareness of how the scared human reacts. To have an awareness of this scared human's triggers. Not in order to fight with ourselves, judge ourselves, or criticize ourselves. This is what Jiddu Krishnamurti means when he says, the point is to watch every thought and every emotion without judgment. This is exactly what we're talking about. Can you, from your soul, have an awareness of the reactions and the triggers of the scared human? And then have understanding. Say to this scared human, of course you would feel that way. You had that old experience that taught you that old lesson. Of course, this is how you would react. No blame and no judgment, only kindness and compassion. But then there still is a choice. There's a choice to continue acting from that fear. And when we're always allowing the old fear to drive our actions, we will also always recreate the old message again and again. So we have a choice to say, beautiful human, I see you. But we're going to choose differently. We're going to act from the fearlessness of our soul. I'll read to you one more time these few thoughts from Sadhguru today. When he speaks about fear, he says, fears and insecurities are unconsciously created by you. If you do not create them, they do not exist. He says the fear is simply because you are not living with life, you are living in your mind. He says the fear of suffering makes your life a half step. Freedom from the fear of suffering is needed for a full stride life. And he says, when a human is in competition, when he is in fear of failure, he will only do little better than somebody else. So the human genius is completely missing. And then he paints somewhat of a picture of who we could be authentically if fear was not in our way. He says, if you ask a tree how he feels to know that he is spreading his fragrance and making people happy, I don't think a tree looks at it that way. A tree says, I am just like that, and it is just my nature to be like this. Without fear, would we be more like that too? It's just in my nature to grow into my full potential. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this reminder of the layers of armor, the masks that we must have picked up along the way. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to see that scared human more clearly. and with deeper understanding, of course, this scared human would have put on these layers of armor, would have learned to wear these masks. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning compassion and kindness for this scared human who just has been doing his or her best to survive up until now. Take a deep breath in. But thank you for learning that I don't have to continue being controlled by the scared human. I am soul. That original being that came into this world is not gone. It is still who I am. And I can learn to act from that place with more and more confidence. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for learning compassion and kindness for the scared human, and for slowly taking bigger and bolder steps from your original being. Thank you, Anami. Almare, good morning. It's great seeing you. Hello. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Beatrix. Who else is there? Thank you, Sunmary. Thank you, Anthony. Lots of love to all you beautiful humans. Have an awesome day. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.